are you trying to hit all levels of the funnel? Gives you an overview of the audience, so who they're trying to target. Helps you with some initial understanding around what the product messaging should be, what the benefits are. And then also just gives you some guidance on logo, fonts, the kind of basics around the brand usage. And then two simultaneous processes start. Firstly, the creative is being developed. And that's going through a kind of multi-step process, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And then at the same time, a process to identify where to place the creative is being brought through as well. And it's good to point out that these two processes definitely happen within two different teams within the agency, but are more likely to happen at completely different agencies. So it gets pretty complicated. The creative process starts out with a good understanding of insight of the audience. So the planner, which is a creative planner, goes about the process of really trying to understand what motivates a particular target audience. Try and understand if they're going to respond well to a certain type of message, what their interests are, what's really going to make them engage. And the output of that is a creative brief. And the creative brief I would compare to our PRD document. It's pretty similar in terms of it being a blueprint for the campaign development. And that's given to the rockstar creative team. Generally, if you're familiar with anyone iconic in ad agency, they're probably a creative. Don Draper from Mad Men, he's a creative director. These are the guys who come up with the big idea that they get to go pitch to the client. And generally, they work in teams. So they work, one of them is the art director. He's responsible for the design and the images. And the other one's the copywriter. He's responsible for the words and bring it together and you get an ad. Nowadays, we've evolved as a business and the industry has progressed. It's more around art and code. So the digital world is really progressing with how do you make code creative? Once you have your creative concept approved, it goes into production. And normally when it goes into production, you're not just producing a banner ad. You're producing a TV commercial or a radio ad. You're producing a print ad. You're producing some online banners, etc., etc. So then it gets distributed out to all these different groups who are then going to go and produce those ads. So it might be a film crew, it might be a designer if it's a print or outdoor ad, it might be a flash programmer if it's a banner ad. And those will be potentially different divisions within the agency, but could also actually be different agents producing them. And then finally, once the ads are created, they're distributed out to the media agency through traffic. And that process is really, at the end, once the media agency understands where they're going to place the ads. And then along the process is account management. Account management is really there to be the interface with the agency and the client and make sure all of this stuff goes according to plan. And then there's a similar process on the media buying and planning side, which starts in the same way, an understanding of the audience. In this case, though, it's really an understanding of where the audience is and how I can potentially reach and target them. And the deliverable here is the media plan. And that's normally developed by a media planner. They're going to come up with the right media mix that's relevant to reach that target audience. They're going to come up with a list of recommended publishers that we should potentially partner with and buy advertising. And that goes into the buying team. The buying teams, less so today, but certainly historically, have been split by media. So you have a TV buying team, you have a digital buying team, you have a print buying team. And these guys are literally just calling on all the publishers and the networks, trying to get the cheapest price for the media that they're trying to procure. And this is actually one of the biggest areas of value that the media agency industry is delivered to a client. Because what's happening is, when your media buyer is calling into a publisher, they're not just placing ads for one brand, they're placing them for multiple brands. So they're able to achieve economies of scale, get way better rates than you would with client direct. It's just huge buying power. Now though, as with